It seemed like a good idea at the time. Buy historic properties and then sell them to developers who won't tear them down. Then the real estate market crashed. Years later, the city is still sitting on those properties, and as Kim Holland reports on special assignment, it's been a costly trip into the real estate game.
The city of Albuquerque has poured more than $250,000 into this decades-old, run-down, abandoned motel on West Central. At another boarded-up motel down the road, the city pays a private security company $125,000 a year just to keep out the riffraff. Take the 27 acres of old historic rail yard land in the South Valley, or this former restaurant and neighboring barber shop across from the biopark. The massive 68,000 square foot National Guard armory at Wyoming and Copper, and 2 out-of-use fire stations. One of those buildings was a freebie, 2 others the city already owned, but for the rest, taxpayers have shelled out $14 million to add the buildings to the city's collection. So what's going on? Well, sometimes city buildings just outlive their usefulness. This old rail yard decades ago used to be bustling with activity. But times have changed. The city hopes to redevelop this building, but in the meantime, you pick up the tab to secure it from vandals and trespassers. On top of the purchase prices, maintenance and security have cost the city another $1.4 million for nearly a dozen deserted, crumbling buildings scattered throughout Albuquerque.
Very intense challenges on historic properties.
The city bought some of these slices of Albuquerque history to save them from the wrecking ball. The De Anza Motel was once a popular Route 66 motor lodge. But the city changed, and what had once been a popular spot for motorists exploring the American West became a den for drug dealers and prostitutes. 11 years ago, the city bought this abandoned motel for $900,000. Among its treasures, 1950s-era painted murals in the basement. To protect those and the city's investment, the city pays $125,000 a year for security. Michael Reardon is in charge of Albuquerque's municipal development.
We need someone on site 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to ensure that no illegal activity is getting down into the murals.
Farther west, the El Vado Motel was once a Route 66 showpiece. Today, it's an abandoned graffiti magnet. Developers plan to demolish this aging relic, so the city stepped in with a 7-figure check. Since that purchase, another $250,000 has gone towards a new roof, stucco work, and other fixes. Why did the city get into the property management business in the first place, especially given the steep price?
Most of these are where the community comes to us and says, this is becoming a disrepair. We don't want it to be redeveloped into something that doesn't represent us. City, help us.
Fire stations 7 and 2 were once on the city's front lines. Today, firefighters live and work in newer and more cost-effective facilities. That leaves the old 2 and 7 empty until the city can find a buyer. City officials have a strategy for getting out of all of this. They hope to sell off the vacant inventory. And in the meantime, the city is trying to tighten its financial belt. At the De Anza, the city will nix the expensive security guards in favor of cheaper security cameras. Cameras are also going up at the rail yards, too. The city is planning to convert the El Vado into affordable housing. Next door, the old barbershop and restaurant will become shops. And the old armory will soon be a regional traffic management center to coordinate traffic signals and message boards.
I think it was a good idea to buy the ones that we did and be as examples of our community, but we don't want to be in this practice for a long time.
On special assignment, Kim Holland, KRQE News 13.
If you want more information on the cost to buy and maintain all the property in Kim's story, just head to krqe.com.